Hello and welcome back to the news. We actually made it to our second episode. Thank you, Sparky fans. Are you crazy? I just edited that in. I'm sitting in my bedroom. Who's actually gonna clap for me? Yep, we are ready for our second episode and there's a lot of content, so let's dive straight into it. And the first thing I want to touch on is none other than TI Invite. Let's go! Here we go on Dota2.com. Scrolling down, a national Dota 2 championship. Here's the tournament format. 18 teams will travel to Seattle this summer to compete for the Aegis of Champions. The field will be comprised of 6 directly invited teams and 12 additional teams with invites earned in the regional qualifiers. All 18 teams will battle in 2 round-robin groups from which the bottom of each group will be eliminated, and the remaining 16 teams will move on to the double elimination main event at the Key Arena. That's quite cool. 18 teams competing there. That's quite a lot of teams, and it's a format like actually kind of like group round robins I like, and double elimination. There's gonna be a lot of Dota to watch in that week. Data 7 to 12th of August. Key Arena as usual in Seattle, and yeah, be ready. Take your leave off of work. Get ready for the thing, and yeah, it's TI, man. Get ready for the stuff. Let's get straight into the invites. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but as you guys saw on Twitter, I was crying that I actually predicted all these 6 teams to get invited. Although, to be honest, it's not all that impressive. Like, let's actually go over these teams and you will see why. OG, our 4-time major champions. No question about it, they should be invited. Virtus Pro, well, they're the Russian powerhouses, man. They finished second in Kiev Major. They've just been an all-round strong team, man. They are the best team in the CIS region, without a doubt. They're actually my pick for TI, believe it or not. I back the Russian maniacs to take the tournament. Evil Geniuses, they have been a top 3 team in Dota 2 for the past 3 years. Nobody's gonna doubt that. Team Liquid, these guys, like everybody else, who have earned their invite. They've won 2 lands in the last month in the 7.06 patch, and the last land they won was the Epicenter, which was a proper tier 1 event. It wasn't organized by Valve, it wasn't a major, it wasn't a TI, but Epicenter was a $500,000 event with basically every top team in the world there and playing. So it's understandable that Liquid get their invite. IG, of course, our DAC champions, 4th place at the Kiev Major, deserve an invite. And Newbie, despite not having all that many tournament wins, they've actually placed consistently in a lot of tournaments. 3rd at DAC. Didn't do all that well at Kiev. They've won the Zotac Masters. They've won Galaxy Battles. 2nd at Manila Masters, losing to EG. They've been a good team. They've been a consistent team, and the invite is very reasonable to me. So yeah, that's the 6 teams invited. Is expected. Let's move on to who got invited to the actual qualifiers, or actually the format of the qualifiers rather first. In Europe, we have you have the Europe winner, the Europe runner-up, and the CIS winner. So 2 slots for Europe, 1 slot for CIS in the qualifiers. China, we got China winner, China runner-up, China 3rd place. So 3 slots for China qualifiers. Southeast Asia, again, Southeast Asia winner, Southeast Asia runner-up, and Southeast Asia 3rd place. So 3 slots for SEA. And America, this is the interesting one, right? So they got 1 slot for North America winner, 1 slot for North America runner-up, and the 3rd slot goes to the South America winner. So they're having a whole qualifiers for South America, and yeah, I'm really happy to see that. It's a step in the right direction. We saw what SG Esports did at Kiev Major, and yeah, I'm really happy about that. The only thing I'd like to add, I'm like super happy about how this whole format is and how it's done and the qualifiers and stuff, is that I think, okay, I know it's mostly South African people watching my YouTube, but if somebody at Valve actually does watch this, maybe think about doing a qualifiers for Africa and the Middle East. You see how many good players actually come out of those areas. Miracle, Weha, Yapso, in those Middle East, Dubai, Jordan, all those areas, right? Attacker, the streamer, also from there. You have a lot of strong players coming out there. Africa as well, obviously not as big as, let's say, CIS or Europe or whatever, but we do actually have good teams here. Last year at WESG, we had 2 teams representing Africa, 2 from South Africa, 1 or 2 from Egypt. They had pretty decent performances. Obviously, none of them won the tournaments or whatever, but it does give good exposure to the scenes and to the players here. So maybe consider that. Go WRG. The regional qualifiers in EU West consist of Crescendo, Danish Bears, Mouse Sports, Penta Sports, 4 Protect 5, Team Secret, and Team Singularity. Obviously, 2 open qualifiers winners as well, and Championship Cup winner. I don't know who those teams are going to be, so we're not just going to pretend they're not there. But yeah, in EU, Team Secret should guaranteed be in TI. I don't think any of those teams that I've listed can actually really beat them. So I would put them through, and maybe Crescendo has Ake and EGM are there with Excalibur and Crescendoran, so it's a pretty decent team. Mouse Sports, of course, X80 Phenom, quite a good team as well. So yeah, I see Secret should make it through, and then probably I'd pick Mouse Sports as well to make it through with them. In the CIS, we have Comanche, Cyber Angie, Natus Vincia, Gambit Esports, Team Effect, Team Empire, Team Spirit, and Vegas Squadron. Only one of these teams actually make it through because CIS only got one slot to go through. So who's my pick for these teams? Probably Empire. It's the safest bet, I guess. But yeah, I'm going for my boy Dondo. Natus Vincia. Let's go. We got this. We got this. In China, we actually have quite a strong field here in the China qualifiers as well, but we do have 3 slots, qualifier slots for the Chinese teams. So we got CDEC, EOM, IGV, LGD, LGD.FY, BGJ, and Vici Gaming. So some strong teams, big names there. But yeah, I don't see any of these teams, like, none of them really shine out to me. The 2 Chinese teams that do is Invictus Gaming and Invictus Gaming and Newbie, who have already been invited. So of these teams, the team that stands out the most is probably LFY. They had a really good performance at the Epicenter GG Finals, finishing in the top 4. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's going to be good games of Dota, and I'm excited to see how the China regional qualifiers goes. In the Southeast Asia, I don't know all that much about Dota, to be honest, but I do know some of the names here, and my 3 picks is definitely Touch Gamers, Faceless, and TNC going to make it through. But yeah, so we got Touch Gamers, Faceless, Fnatic, Happy Feet, Mineski, TNC, and Geek Fam. Those are actually all pretty known teams, to be quite honest, and yeah, it could be actually a tough qualifier. I think they do have 3 slots. I think the 3 slots will be filled by TNC, Faceless, and Clutch. But Fnatic do host some very impressive players, so who knows? They could be competing for a spot, but TNC and Faceless should be, and even Clutch. Like, I'm interested to see how it goes, but I think those will be the 3 teams. South America, I know even less about. I know SG Esports, of course. They're my team, man. My picks for TI for sure. I joke, but they're a really good team. I was impressed with them at Kiev. They play some fancy Dota. And then we got SG Esports, Midas Club, Infamous, and Elite Wolves. I'm just going to assume SG Esports are going to make it through because they're the only team I know. So my South America prediction means nothing. But here's where things actually really get interesting. The North America qualifiers, okay? So the teams consist of Complexity, Digital Chaos, Team NP, Planet Odd, Team Freedom, Team Red, Wheels Wrecking While Whistling. What a name. So remember, South America gets one of those qualifier slots for the North America or the Americas region. That means DC, NP, and Planet Odd are 3 top tier teams fighting for 2 spaces. So one of these 3 teams are actually not going to make it through to the main event or make it through to TI, which is kind of sad. But it's going to make the qualifier games quite hard to watch. I don't know who I'm going to put my picks at. Planet Odd obviously have a higher caliber of players to, let's say, DC. They have obviously fancy names like We Are, Resolution, Misery there. But at the same time, I'm not going to sell my boy Jimmy short from DC, man. They showed us a lesson at TI. It doesn't matter if you're playing against Miracle and the boys at OG. If you pick Husker, you can win. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to count DC out. I think they could challenge in the TI qualifiers for sure and could make it to the main event. And Team NP, I think they're a really good team actually. Envy and the boys they put together a decent stack of players and they've had some good results so far too. Yeah. North America qualifiers is something we definitely got to watch for. That's it for the TI qualifiers. I have an announcement to make about open qualifiers, but I'll do that at the end of the video. Moving on. So yeah, the results from Galaxy Battles is out and ready. Team Newbie did take the tournament 3-0 in the finals against Planet Odd. I mean, a lot of people were saying on Twitter and stuff in the build-up to match that, Planet Odd have a good chance of taking the tournament, but I think Newbie was the better team and they came out on top quite convincingly. I never get to watch. I don't have much to add to the Galaxy Battles because I never got to watch all that many games because, 1, it was in China and the time zone is pretty bad for us. But 2, the production wasn't like the games I did try to watch. The stream was either insanely laggy, in-game sound wasn't working. It was just like, no, this production just wasn't there for me to actually watch the games, which is kind of sad. But anyway, it happens. That's Dota. That's these tournaments. other tournament I'd like to talk about is none other than the Summit 7. I mean, hot damn, if you're a Dota fan and you weren't following this tournament, then you know Dota fan, okay? And let's talk about the most important thing that actually happened there. Virtus Pro, okay? So they won the tournament 3-2 in the best of 5 grand finals against Team Secret, and they won, okay? They're a strong team, they won a tournament. Great. But how did they win this tournament? Is something out of this world. In 17 of the games they played in this tournament, they picked 81 different heroes. Just that's 5 different heroes in 5 completely new different heroes. In 17 games, they did that up until 16 games in a row till the game 5 of the grand finals. Which, what Secret did then was ban the remaining heroes they had left. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. Actually, here's a freaking picture of actually all this crazy heroes they picked. Or didn't pick. So look at this. Sorry, it's not the best quality image, I know, but this is the only image I could find of this, okay? So as you can see, they picked a lot of heroes, right? But let's take a look at the heroes they didn't pick. Lifestealer, Lycan, Templar Assassin, Ember Spirit, Shadow Fiend, Slark, and Storm Spirit. Okay, so let's touch on 3 of these heroes, the first 3 you mentioned. Lifestealer, Lycan, and Templar Assassin. That's 3 signature heroes. In fact, no one's TA. You guys got to see it at KF Major. Ramsey's a Lifestealer. I mean, these are their bread and butter picks. They didn't even touch them. Not even in Game 5 of the Grand Finals. Like, okay, Virtus Pro won this tournament. But they did a hell of a lot more than that. They made a statement. I mean, if you're a non-Virtus Pro Dota team right now and you don't fear them, then I don't know. You guys, hot damn, I would not want to be VP's competitors right now. I mean, they won an entire tournament, not giving away any strats for TI. They just pick whatever they want. They hit the random button and won every game. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I mean, you could say that, but they also, like, Solo did pick the drafts in a way that they were, like, small strats within those drafts. They were all, I'm not going to say viable drafts, because I think if you weren't VP, you're not going to win those games. But they were pretty good drafts. And in the end, it actually caught Secret. There's a bit of a mind game. Secret's like, okay, we have to actually ban out all these other heroes that I haven't picked. And then they just picked Anti-Mage at the end and destroyed them. So it was kind of funny. But yeah, it's really impressive. But Virtus Pro aside, the Summit was an impressive event because, I mean, the Summit is that tournament where they have a big prize pool, but they don't have a too big prize pool because they want to keep it like the middle ground. They want teams to take it seriously, but they don't want to take it too seriously because it's a meme event, right? I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm saying it in an amazing way. It's not like a TI where you have like casters all in suits and Red Eye there as the grand host and that kind of thing. It's a casual tournament. 4 guys sitting on the couch talking about Dota. That's how the casting works, and it's great, man. It's great when those 4 guys are like PPD, Balba, Dendi, sitting there and talking about games. It's a tournament I hella enjoyed. A perfect 5 out of 7 in my books. And the memes, man. The memes, so good. And to head into some local news, Metal State has announced a casting competition. It's called the Caster Competition. A funny name, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty great. If you're an amateur caster, you are eligible to win 15,000 Rand of prize money and a gig at the Metal State Championship. So what you need to do is, as the thing says, to enter, email a link of your demo recording, which must be uploaded to YouTube and no shorter than 45 seconds to casting@middlestate.com. So yeah, if you're a caster, amateur caster, never been paid before, maybe make a VOD, send it through to them. You could win 15k and a chance to cast a Metal State event, which is pretty damn awesome if you ask me. I haven't seen. And another piece of great local content. I say local actually, but it's international news. Our ex-BVD star Doni has finally landed himself in an international team, and who this team is pretty interesting. Clavis Oria, manager Blue Oceans, and his teammates are as follows: Ascendancy as a position 1 carry, Ryojin solo mid, position 2, Doni our boy, position 3, Alex the Fool as 4 position support, and Blue as position 5 support. You might recognize some of these names, you might not, but let's actually go and look at who these people are. I mean, this is a Medium article done by the manager Blue Oceans. I will link the article into my channel description, and you can check it out. But let's just briefly go over who his teammates are. Okay, here's the MMR of all these players. Ascendancy, 7.8k MMR. Ryojin 8.3k MMR. In fact, this Ryojin guy is in the top 15 in on the MMR leaderboards in the CIS region. So that's truly impressive. Doni at 7k MMR, Alex the Fool at 7.5k MMR, Blue at 7.2k MMR. And yeah, that's the MMRs of his teammates. I mean, Donnie's at 7k MMR, at a mere 7k MMR, the lowest. I mean, he's really slacking. He's got to up his game, man. I don't know what he's doing right now. Huh? What a scrub dub. But jokes aside, this is a really impressive team. And it's really good to see Doni finding himself a team like this. I'm really happy for the guy, and I honestly wish him all the best. And remember, TI qualifiers is just around the corner. So on the 22nd of June, the EU qualifiers do start. So keep an eye out for Clever Saria and Doni and the boys. You could be seeing them. They could be winning the qualifiers. Who knows? Who knows? Well, that's if they beat WRG there, huh? Let's talk Goliath Gaming. The brand new MGO announced here in South Africa with hosting two teams, a Dota team, a Counter-Strike team. And yeah, they also announced some pretty interesting things as well. But let's touch on who the players are first. I'm going to actually give exposure to Counter-Strike here, pretend like I know what's going on. Dean Massacre Davids, Stefan Nefen Smith, Ashton Galsmuller, Richard the Deviant Grooves, Dean Hacken Seyfried. Those are the people in the Counter-Strike team. Yeah, you know that Gauls guy, he's really good here. Top stuff. I'm just guessing. I know nothing about Counter-Strike. So let's ignore CS. But the Dota lineup is consisted of Santa, Panda737, Sticklish, Muzzy, and Kotta. So basically the three VNR escapees plus Santa and Sticklish. Pretty decent lineup for Dota. Yeah, we saw most of these guys playing VNR. They were okay. Let's see how they do. All the best to them in this new team. A new MGO in SA is always a good thing to see. We have a lot, but we don't have all that many, so we can always do it more. So that's nice to see. And another interesting thing about this MGO and this team is that they're actually paying the players salaries, which is pretty good. Step in the right direction. I like it. But yeah, talking about new teams, changes, this, that, let's jump over to APG and Bravado. Back to some more roster changes. I say roster changes, but in actual fact, it's Filthy Frank changes. He left APG. Went on to go join Bravado now. So yeah, his stint with APG was kind of like a 14-year-old's relationship with their love of their life. I mean, it's the greatest thing on Monday, and by Friday it's kind of over. She blue-ticked me, man. She blue-ticked me so bad. So yeah, he left APG, went over to Bravado. Soda's out of Bravado, and Conspiracy. I know he has been a sub for APG in the past, but now he's playing there. I don't really know where he came from or who he really is, Mr. Conspiracy. But he's like a 5k MMR player, so let's see how he does in APG. And Bravado have kicked out Soda and now have Filthy Frank introduced. I don't know on what terms Soda left the team, whether he was kicked, whether he left for work, whatever. But yeah, it's a good addition to the side of Bravado, getting Filthy Frank, but what a shady way to do it. I mean, he actually signed these contracts and everything with APG. He was there, he was playing, we watched him play games, he did pretty well, and he's just gone. I mean, damn, man, that's kind of sad. What can you do, hey? What can you do? All this fault, all these bad roster changes is Arteezy's fault. He paved the way for young people around the world. God damn it, Arteezy, what have you started with that ping pong battle between Secret and EG? Alright, a very important thing that happened in Dota 2 this last week was Tobi won. I don't know, for those of you who are not Dota people who are watching this video, is one of our biggest casters ever and a long time caster. He's been in the scene strongly involved for 13 years, like since the very beginning. Even Dota 1 days he was there, and he's issued, I mean, he's made in AMA threads complaints or concerns he has about the Dota 2 competitive scene. He's put multiple tweets out there, things he thinks Valve need to do to solve this out, and now he's finally made like a full-on Reddit, not a Reddit thread, but a Reddit comment on a thread that was going on, and let's go over it, okay? I'm gonna read this whole thing, and let's see what you guys think. Many of these things have already been discussed multiple times from the first day of Dota 2. They are reaching a point where the future of Dota 2 is reliant on some, if not all, these issues being resolved. That's what Tobi says. Here's the 4 main reasons that he gives that he's concerned about the competitive scene of Dota 2. All tournaments are eclipsed by Valve tournaments, which is kind of true. Majors and TIs are just massive. $3 million for a major, $20 million for the TI. Okay, TI we can't even count, but like let's compare major to another tier one premium event like Epicenter. Epicenter production, game quality, all that kind of stuff is as good as a major, without a doubt. But money wise, $500,000 and $3 million is a big difference. So yeah, they are, speaking purely money wise, other tournaments are eclipsed by Valve tournaments. But third party tournaments do have their benefits too. I mean, you guys watch Epicenter; it was a really enjoyable event. Crowdfunding is now exclusive to Valve tournaments. This used to be a big thing for tournaments like the Summit, Dota Cinema's Captain's Draft tournament, and all that jazz before. So yeah, that could be an issue. Workshop artists are expressing issues, if not leaving the community. This actually is a real issue. I don't know about Dota as a whole, how it really affects that, but like for these people, these artists who design stuff for the compendiums and for those kind of, and just sets and hats in general, there actually is issues going on between them and Valve. And if you'd like to touch more on those issues, I've put a link or another Reddit thread done by some of the workshop artists that have made sets and such for Valve compendiums before. So you can hear their opinions and they struggles that they put up with at the moment in regards to workshop art hats basically. Majors and TIs are done by contractors and not by people who are building sustainable Dota scenes and communities outside the major TIs. I don't really understand this point. Like, I guess you could say, oh yeah, Beyond the Summit or Moonduck or whatever hosting a tournament, so then it's like people are involved. But like, I don't know. I don't really want to know how. I don't really know how to touch on this point. So I'm just gonna ignore it. And if you guys actually have thoughts on that, enlighten me in the comments, please. I would really appreciate that. So yeah, those are Tobi's main 4 points. I'm gonna link this whole Reddit thread in my channel description. You can check it out there. But let's touch on his 4 points that he thinks that could change, or the 4 fixes. I don't know if fixes is the right word, but 4 solutions he has to these problems. For those asking for solutions, it is simple yet complicated. What needs to happen for the Dota 2 world to thrive once more are as follows. Benefits for the workshop artists that dedicate themselves 100% to item creation, like it used to be. Valve no longer run white label majors and give the major brand as an incentive to well-run events, not just regional partners. Crowdfunding is made available for third parties with a streamlined item/ticket submission. Compendiums are made available for third parties. That was a critical part to share the tournament communities with the rest of the Dota 2 player base. A more structured qualification is run for majors/the international. This is a more complicated solution, which there is no perfect answer, but the most logical part is to remove the invite system we currently use and bring in minors and majors, and a way to qualify for such events, which is clear for all to follow instead of the guessing game we currently play. There's always more that can be done, but opening up these things will give more opportunities for groups involved in the scene. Okay, so his solutions. Let's touch on the last one, the qualification for events. Just looking at the TI qualification, how it's working, I really don't see all that much of a problem with it. I think it's pretty good. On the thing I already suggested was they could add a qualification, a qualifier slot for Africa and maybe the Middle East, as well, Africa and the Middle East. But yeah, I believe they'll get to that at some stage. So I don't really have to push my point any more than I have. Crowdfunding is available for third parties. I mean, the tickets, I think they have brought back the ticket system for third party tournaments, so that is a plus already. And compendiums are made available for third parties. That was a critical part to share the tournament communities with the rest of the Dota 2 player base. Okay, this is a complicated issue, I think, because Dota 2 is a free game. As we all know, we can play it 100%. You can be 9k MMR without having to spend a single cent. But the reality of the fact is, we do spend cents, and the thing we spend money on is the Heisenberg Blue. Did I say Heisenberg Blue? I meant hats. Kind of the same thing. Yeah, it's a free game, and we spend our money on hats, right? And if you look, I mean, we fund a $20 million tournament with just hats. It's pretty insane if you think about it. So, right, it is great that other tournaments can do this and do that, but if there's a compendium coming out every week for every tournament, that makes Valve compendiums not all that special, which is not good for all the compendiums, and it's not that great for Valve themselves. I mean, okay, so we get a $20 million for the prize pool for the international just from hats being purchased. But remember, that's only 25% of the money actually spent on those compendiums. So that's $100 million Valve are making just from one tournament's compendium. That's minusing the major compendiums. It's a lot of money, and right, it's all great and fine that you want to include everybody in this and that, But at the same time, Valve have to make some money too, and obviously Valve is not struggling to make the money. They're the most profitable company per employee in the United States. But I don't know, Gus Fring wasn't happy if other people try sell the Heisenberg Blue that doesn't come from him. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. I don't know. I don't have solutions to all these problems. I'm not Tobi One. I'm not somebody employed at Valve. I just give my opinions on the stuff. Another thing I'd actually like to branch out about third-party events or tournaments is that Valve had a very different way of doing this in the past. I mean, TI4 time, they had a very lax opinion. They ran the international, and the rest was all done by third-party companies. They pushed forward the competitive scene, and it was good, but it also wasn't all that good. I mean, we ran 48 tournaments in the year 2014, TI4 time. 48 tournaments ran in that time, which is actually just too much Dota to be played, to be honest. A lot of players were burning out, and also we had the struggles where events weren't paying out players, and all these kind of things were happening that weren't the greatest. So Valve felt that they had to take the initiative to make something like the majors, so it's kind of more structured and stuff. That was just my speculation, and I don't know if that's how true it is. As I said, I don't work for Valve, but yeah, I think Dota, there could be things to change to make it better and all, but I don't think we're at the point where Dota 2 is gonna just die. I mean, the major system is also a new system as well, only 2 years in place. So esports as a whole is still like in its infant years and still growing, but we'll have to see. I like to believe that Dota is gonna stay a high level esport, but even if it doesn't, we all fans of the game anyway, and we'll see how it goes. And yeah, in the closing for my video, it's the last piece of news. It's actually personal news. I'm going to be casting the TI qualifiers tomorrow. In fact, the EU qualifiers more specifically. I'm going to try to cover all the WRG games on my stream. I'm going to invite a whole lot of players, friends, whatever to come cast with me. It's going to be on my stream, so it'll be super casual, super fun, swearing and all. And yeah, tune in, man. I'm going to put the link to the stream in the description. And yeah, if you like this video, hit the like button on YouTube. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, do it if you like the content, of course. If you think it's absolute shite, don't even bother. What can you do? My Facebook page is ConvoChickDayDota. My Twitter is @KChickDay. Follow me on Twitter. You'll enjoy it. Every time Sargon opens his mouth, I just roast him. It's super fun. I joke. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and goodbye.